the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
If you love your family, gotta put them down today.
We gotta put 'em down today.
Put 'em down, y'all. Yeah. Put 'em down, y'all. Yeah. Put 'em down, y'all.
Hi, I'm John Huey. Thanks for joining us for another exciting episode of Put 'em Down. I got my good friend with me, Cheeto Hamilton. We've got a great topic we're talking about today, okay? You all stay with me. With the recent uproar on gun violence, there are a few things we want to discuss. I have a group that's here who also wants to pinpoint, talk about, and tell you why it's time to put it down. Keep it locked right here. Put 'em Down is happening right now. Yours truly, John Huey, my good friend, Cheeto Hamilton, and many other guests. Keep it locked. All right, once again, I'm John Huey, and welcome back to a great episode of Put 'em Down. Great show today, folks. With all this happening right now in the world of gun violence, we want to talk about some serious issues and an exciting group who we're going to remind you to just put them down, okay? First and foremost, I want to introduce once again my good friend, Mr. Cheeto Hamilton.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Thanks for being here, sir, who's made a great appearance with us. You'll hear more from him coming up in the broadcast as well. I'm going to turn your attention to this exciting group we have joining us on set today. They go by the name of the Pham, right? I'm going to let them introduce themselves one by one, if you don't mind.
Hi, I go by Ministar.
And I'm Urel, but everybody call me Nunu.
I go by Kiara Dito.
My name is Brandon.
Okay, thank you all for being here with us today. Now, how did this all come about? You know, with all that's happening right now in the world of gun violence, so many things are happening. The recent death or assassination of Nipsey Hussle. I say assassination because he was assassinated. Of rapper Nipsey Hussle, not only rapper, community activist, and so many others that have been victimized by gun violence. How did the group and message come about?
We decided that this was a hot topic and it was something that's happening over and over daily. So we decided that, we should put the guns down, stop the violence. Let's get together and make a song to send that message out to the environment.
Okay, now was it any particular, race or ethnicity, nationality that you were targeting, or was it really pretty much a global issue when you're asking or telling everyone to put them down?
I would say global because it's not, I would say global because it's happening at churches, it's happening at schools, at family events, community events. So I would say it's a global thing.
And with this global impact and the fact that it's having, how would you all say in your own personal lives? I mean, have you all experienced anything like this? Was it something that, by watching the news or hearing about what's going on in your community, that's what sparked it, or where does it necessarily hit home? Any one of the guests, is there anything that you can just pinpoint or pretty much tell us about?
My mom actually got shot
Wow.
due to domestic violence. It was a thing where we had a restraining order on her husband, and he ended up coming back to the house with a gun. And to make a long story short, she was going out the door to go to work one day. Of course, I was with her to secure her, and her husband actually shot her. Well, we kind of all came together and not knowing that it was going to actually happen, but we planned that if he came by, we made a plan that if some gunfire had to, come into action, well, then so be it. But she ended up getting shot, and I had to shoot him.
Wow.
Of course, I didn't, go to jail for it because it was self-defense, and plus I gave the police the restraining order also.
All right, now some people may say that this topic may be one-sided because you made it known, okay, granted, your mom's husband or boyfriend, he did it, but you retaliated. So is the message for those that are initiating or those that are retaliating? Because some people may say, I have that amended right to defend myself or to protect my family. So how would you in some ways parlay or use that message to even address or answer that question? Anyone?
Absolutely. I think it's the ones that's initiating. Simply because if you're retaliating to protect yourself or a family member, then we're not saying put down the gun for that. Of course, it's about how you use the gun, when you use the gun.
Right.
It's not about when you're using it to protect you or a family member, or for instance, there's a situation, someone came in, they were shooting up the building, and you actually saved many people by shooting down the target. then okay, we're not saying putting down the guns for that. But I would say, for instance, violence, gun violence.
Right.
School shootings, you're killing innocent children.
Right.
Church shootings, you're killing innocent people who's just at church, trying to get praise. So I would say it's the initiator, not the one who's actually trying to protect.
Right.
It's just about how you're using it and when you're using it and why are you using it, not specifically just using it.
Wow.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Any other experiences? I mean, has anyone else experienced
Yeah,
any?
I have. I've been through plenty of gun experiences. Lost homeboys to it, family members. I won't get too much out in detail because it's too much, but yeah, I have plenty.
So within this message, what is, granted, the obvious message is put them down.
Right.
But are there any other factors or things you all like for the world to consider and know about? As you share this message, as you travel from city to city, maybe even some countries. What's another thing or another message, I should say, you would like for them to pull from this or know about this message or your initiative?
Initially, to voice your opinion on the subject matter and to let people know that there are people out here trying to do something about it. And
Right.
that it's better to voice your opinion than not.
Amen.
And get the message out there that, there's other people, that's going through the same thing. If you voice your opinion, others might stand up and, fight the cause.
Also, to piggyback from him, I think bringing God back to the forefront,
Said bringing
bringing God
God
back to
back,
the
okay.
forefront,
Gotcha.
getting that reverence back for God, and I think if we do that, our conscience won't be so sinister and depraved that we want to go out and do some kind of harm to anyone. So bringing God back to the forefront.
is always key.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Once again, have the Pham, John Huey checking in, put them down. The Pham on the stage in production in the studio with us today. But also our good friend, Mr. Cheeto Hamilton, who is the organizer
Right.
of this great initiative. So tell us about how this came about for you. What made you in some ways want to use this message to encourage these young people to follow their dream and pursue their passion?
Well, as you can see, the shirt says, if you love your family, put down the guns. Well, that's simply what it was. A love for family, love for community, love for country, love for people. We need to stop it, So we decided to use a musical platform to do that. I have a couple of grandsons. With all the school shootings, everybody thinks it can't happen to them.
Right.
But I'm sure all the young people that have been killed in schools, their parents and loved ones probably thought it could not happen to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So why do I think, maybe because we live in a small town, that it won't happen to my grandsons? No. It can very well happen to them.
And where's that town, actually? The small town.
Pass Christian, Mississippi.
Say that one more time.
Pass Christian, Mississippi.
Pass Christian, Mississippi.
Right.
In the house.
It's pronounced Christian. But
Christian,
yeah,
okay.
Pass Christian, Mississippi, yeah. So that's it. That's the core reason right there.
Right.
To try and stop some of the violence.
I love it. Hey, so much more to share, so much more we're talking about today. The Pham, Put Them Down, a great initiative. And you also have a YouTube video. Let's talk about that and other ways you're sort of spreading the message.
Right. In fact, the video is on YouTube, and it's called "If You Love Your Family, Put Down the Guns." Put down the guns for family. That's the name of it.
Put down the gun for
family. For family. Check it out, and you will see the video depicts some of the violence that goes on. School shootings, church shootings, an abundance of the difference. Even as Nunu alluded to, homeboy shootings.
Homeboy shootings.
Yeah.
Absolutely. John Huey Live, once again, thanks for joining us. Put Them Down, a special segment and show today. Got a great group here, performers, artists, great organizers as well, following the vision and sharing the message. As I mentioned before, the recent assassination or killing of Nipsey Hussle, artist Nipsey Hussle, but thousands and hundreds of other persons who have suffered some kind of, or been victimized by some kind of random act of gun violence. This group is taking a stand and sharing the message both here and across the world. Keep it locked right here. Put Them Down, right here, John Huey. Welcome back to another great segment of Put Them Down. John Huey, live right now. Got my good friend and co-host, Mr. Cheetah Hamilton. We're going to get some audience interaction as well to find out what do they have to say about this issue. Put Them Down, addressing gun violence.
Right. Okay, who would like to be the first person to respond to my question? Okay. All right. What's your name?
Marion Hamilton.
Where are you from?
I'm from Pass Christian,
Mississippi. Have you ever heard of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi?
Yes, I have.
You have, of course. Do you know the population of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi?
No, it's very large. It's more of a family net.
Okay, well, I can tell you it's a little over 13,000 people in Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Okay, do you know approximately how many people are killed each year in the United States? By gun violence? A little over 13,000, according to certain census, okay? So, a scenario here. What if you woke up tomorrow morning, turned on CNN, and heard that everyone in Bay St. Louis had been killed by gun violence? How would that make you feel?
Very sad because that's a lot of family live there. It'd be very sad because it's so close knit that we know a lot of people in Bay St. Louis. It'd be very sad and heartbreaking for so many.
Okay, yeah, and God forbid that happen. Okay, I was just using it as an illustration to make this point right here. That's tantamount to everyone in Bay St. Louis. The number of people that get killed once a year, over the course of a year in the United States by gun violence, is tantamount to everyone in Bay St. Louis being killed once a year, or everyone in a small town the size of Bay St. Louis being killed once a year. Wow. Now, if you stop and think about that, let that, you marinate that really hits home. Over 13,000 people are killed once a year in the United States, and that's the entire population of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. So, is there anyone out there who has a solution that they would like to put forward to that problem? Okay. What's your name?
I'm Linda James from Biloxi, Mississippi. Mine is more of a comment suggestion. It's sad that it's this way, but it's reality, But what I would say, they say the children are our future, but if they don't put the guns down, there will be no future.
Good point. Good point. Anybody else want to make a comment? Okay, what's your name?
Tricia from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there could be a tightening of the gun laws, whether it's just checking mental stability, checking that people have proper training, because often people are just so quick to pull trigger, it happens in a second. And then there's even limitations. There shouldn't be anyone with a closet full of guns at any time, especially if they have a propensity to want to use those in violence.
Okay, great point. What's your name?
And my name is Liza Hall. I'm from Jackson County, Mississippi, and gun violence has impacted my family as well. So I'm appreciative of this segment that you're doing here today. But my solution to that problem would be, just like you have a cell phone and it has a fingerprint, where you would have to use that fingerprint in order to activate your cell phone. I would say make guns now where they're safe for children, where they're safe. If children was to try to access those guns and they belong to adults, they will have to have a fingerprint first. Just like a cell phone.
Good point. Good.
And safety, if they're locked up in their safe, it has to have a fingerprint to it as well. And then also educating children on the safety of gun violence.
Right.
Educate them in the school, just like they do any type of education where they want children to be aware, just like when it comes to drugs.
Okay, great idea. Great idea. I don't know if I have enough time to go, but I agree with all of y'all, with the restrictions, with the education, and that fingerprint thing seems like a very good idea.
Yeah, great.
Now, I feel this is just my opinion. That there's two things that would probably solve it if I have time to get into it. One, what Stacy alluded to earlier, Minister alluded to earlier, is get back to God. Two, we know that's not going to happen for everybody. So gun restrictions. I feel like we need to restrict who can use them and where guns can go. That's my opinion. Where they can be taken. Some people have the license, they can take their gun anywhere. But if we restrict where the average citizen can take a gun, I think that would make a difference.
One problem, but so many solutions. Keep it locked right here. Put them down. Coming back with a great performance from the Pham that you don't want to miss. John Huey, my good friend and co-host, Cheetah Hamilton, right here on your television. Put them down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
I remember when we were young, playing with my friends, having so much fun.
And we didn't have to worry about anyone trying to shoot us down with a gun. And
Mama said we could go outside, jump on our bikes with our friends that could ride.
but those days are gone. Now our families die from gunshots and drive-bys.
Put the gun down, that's the hot topic nowadays. They kill like it's legal. Lately been losing my people. In my dreams, I've been fighting all these demons. My brother gone and I didn't get to meet him. My uncle left till before I was born. All I see is these pictures. I'm just reminiscing the last days in the world with my fam. I can never ever forget the feeling. This pain here, it's gonna take time for healing. These people ain't learning, it ain't no more hope. Until they found out, it's just a joke. I lost too many, so now I'm just hopeless. Give them hell, yellow December boat. Man, family matter, we don't need a divide. Come together and put the beat to the side, fam.
If you love your family,
Gotta put the guns away. Gotta put them down today.
if you love your family,
The violence has to come to an end. At this rate, nobody wins.
My appeal, oh my appeal, is to end this blood spill. This country is in disarray. I'm pleading law for God's sake. We saturated domestically where onslaughts of pure hate and families grieving poignantly, just hoping for that brighter day. I wanna know, am I safe? Mr. Police, with my black face, we demand change in Jesus' name and won't be silent till it's a break. I galvanize to open eyes. Will you be found having faith? This world is depending on you. Together we can make a way.
now I remember when we were in school, said a little prayer, pledge allegiance to, and we better listen to what the teacher had to say, and we all went home at the end of the day.
To our family, we all have family. It's the black ones and the white ones and the brown ones, the yellow and the red ones. Family, we all have family. I love mine and you love yours. They love theirs. That's what family's for.
If you love your
You love your
family,
family, y'all.
gotta put the guns away.
Gotta put them down.
The guns away. Put them down, y'all. Yeah. Put them down, y'all. Yeah.
If you love your family,
The violence has to come to an end.
Stop the violence.
at this rate nobody wins.
Come on.
If you love your family, gotta put the guns
We
away.
gotta put them down today.
Put them down, y'all. Yeah. Put them down, y'all. Yeah. Put them down, y'all. Put them down, y'all.
If you love your family, gotta put them down
We
today.
gotta put them down today.
Put them down, y'all. Yeah. Put them down, y'all. Yeah. Put them down, y'all. Put them down, y'all.
Do you love?
Yeah.
Do you love?
Yeah.
Do you love your family? Do you love?
Yeah.
Do you love?
Yeah.
Do you love your family?
This is dedicated to all the families who have lost loved ones to gun violence.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put them down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put them down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Put them down.
All the people say, put down the guns.
Hey, family, thank you for joining us. I want to thank the Pham for stopping by with the performance as well as the much-needed message that we needed to hear and know about, okay? Put them down, all right? I'm John Huey. Hey, you like a pair of these shirts or to cop or get these shirts, go online. That's Pretty Boutique or Pretty Game Boutique Company.com, all right? Get that. Pretty Game Boutique Company.com. You cop these shirts, great wear, great fit, great message. So overall, just a great vibe. I want to thank my good friend and brother, co-host. He goes by the name of Cheetah Hamilton. Go ahead and take us out.
All right. We want everybody to know, even with all the gun violence and all the hatred and all the disastrous things that's going on in our country and in our world, we still want to remind the devil that you can't stop us from praising God. All right, so give it up for the Pham featuring Ministar and Brandon Burke performing the hot song, You Can't Stop My Praise.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords.
Cause the devil can't stop my praise. Cause the devil can't stop my praise. Get your hands up, 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 get your hands up. I come before the throne humbly as I know I can. Get away with my flesh, I'm in the spirit, man. One of God's elect, who dare stop his plan? His sovereignty is sure, come on, clap your hands. Oh my Redeemer, I'm eager for you just like a fan. Nevertheless, yeah, omnipresent in all the land. I built my house on the rock so that I could stand and put my faith in Jehovah and carry his commands. Well, my believers that is never ceasing when they praying, standing on God's promises, yea and amen. Looking to sup with God every time we get a chance. Can't get enough of God with his mighty, mighty hand. We don't fret by the band, we just rejoice and dance and show our adoration again and again. Refraining from what's contrary and ignorant, quenching those fiery darts that the devil sent.
You can't stop my praise. 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 You can't stop my praise.
Glory to the highest one that's above all, the one that never leave you hanging when you seem to fall, the one we exalt and the one we extol, the unconditional love of Jesus, the all in all. With no respect or person, he hearkened to my call and said my grace is sufficient for each and all of y'all. When I was lowly and couldn't do nothing but crawl, he manifest restoration till my problem was solved. With such a love, we still presume to sin and fall, but know that God is not mocked, he will repay all. So I'ma bring the good tidings just for that very cause. Go out, reprove and correct right here in the bar. He is the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the source of eternity and our safeguard. Get with the stomp in your feet and make a loud noise, cause we gon' love in the Lord as everyone applaud.
You can't stop my praise. 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 You can't stop my praise.
I'm a believer, yes I believe, and the devil can't stop my praise. I'm a faith walker, indeed a faith walker, treading over these serpents all day. I'm a believer, yes a believer, and the devil can't stop my praise. I'm a faith walker, indeed a faith walker, treading over scorpions all day. Yeah man, that's right, I'm walking on faith. Now if you walking on faith, get your hands up, get your hands up, get your hands up. Man, that's right, I'm walking on faith. Get your
people say, put down the guns.
Put 'em down.
All the people say,